So soy, the reality is that most of the soy in this country is genetically modified. It's a huge percentage. It is. And then if we're talking about soy that's organic, which means it's not genetically modified, it's definitely what's called estrogen promoting.
Yeah.
So if you're talking about the female population, unless you're in sort of that pre, post, or menopausal state where estrogen is really depleted, if you're a menstruating woman, it's really not ideal to be eating foods that promote more estrogen on a regular basis. Now, I definitely have gluten-free soy sauce from time to time, and I'm not saying that it's that level of perfection, but if it's a constant part of my diet, it's not ideal for me. So I think if you're in a place where you're in hormonal depletion and in your in a menopausal state, it's just not the best way to get estrogen. But mostly because it's genetically modified in this country. And if you can get an organic source, they've just done so much research to show that if you have an excessive amount of soy, it can lead to a soy allergy and cause all kinds of inflammatory issues. But there's soy in so many things, inflammatory. But there's so much soy that maybe, if you're eliminating, the tofu and the major sources of soy, having a little bit of it is not such a big issue. Ideally, if it's not genetically modified. But again, it's that spectrum of perfection. For some of us, we can't tolerate any soy. And then for other people, you can tolerate a little bit because you're not as sensitive. But you have to see how you feel. And it always goes through that elimination diet process.
Someone's also goitrogenic?
There's a lot of foods that are goitrogenic. That's a whole other conversation, but I will define what that means, and then we'll move on. So there are certain foods that are called goitrogenic, and what that means is it contributes to thyroid dysfunction. Like a thyroid goiter? Right. And some of those goitrogenic foods are actually very healthy foods, but in excess, it can contribute to challenges. So even something like kale. That's like an amazing food, but in excess, if you're having green kale smoothies every day for years, that's not ideal. It's just not ideal. Okay? So, you want to have things in moderation.
Right.
And the goitrogenic food list, just so you know, those particular vegetables and fruits that are considered goitrogenic, and you can look them up online and you can get a list. If you even slightly cook them, slightly steam them, they're no longer goitrogenic. So having, cooked kale salads every day is fine. There's a lot of lutein in kale. It's great for your vision. It's good for your liver. It's a bitter green. Really good. But you have to cook them a little bit if you're going to have them on a regular basis. Okay? I mean, if you have a summer of a lot of raw kale salads, that's fine. But if you're doing it all year round, it's not ideal. Okay? But you can look it up online. It's like a whole other category. Probiotics. So someone was asking about probiotics. Probiotics are not just great for someone that has celiac. Probiotics are important for everybody. Essentially, our gut and our body has a lot of good bacteria, ideally. And that good bacteria is there to fight off infection and fight off pathogens, right? And a lot of infection comes into our body through our gut. And if we have an optimal amount of good bacteria, we can fight that infection before it can become symptomatic and cause problems. But for many of us, we're depleted. And we're depleted in lots of ways. Maybe our gut is too acidic because we have a very high acidic diet and high glycemic and inflammatory, and we're just depleted of it. It could be for so many reasons. But ultimately, if we are missing a lot of that good flora, that good bacteria, then it leads to disease, inflammation. It's essentially, when we have good amount of that flora in our gut, it's an indication of health. Okay? So taking probiotics is a wonderful thing to do. Eating fermented foods is a wonderful thing to do. Eating fermented foods and growing fermented foods will give you like a million times more probiotics than a capsule. But probiotics are still really good to take. But when you're buying probiotics, you have to be cautious because a lot of them that are out there, you don't know that the quality is really poor because they have to be maintained. They don't necessarily have to be refrigerated, all of them, but they have to be maintained at a certain temperature and not go through fluctuations because they're live cultures, right? You want live bacteria, not dead bacteria, right? So if it goes through all these different fluctuations through the factories and all this stuff, and they're not packaged in a very sort of temperature-sensitive, resilient way, then the cultures can die, and then you're taking something that's benign. It's not really helping you at all. So trying to find versions that are better quality, and there's lots of them. You know, I mean, you can certainly get good quality probiotics at Whole Foods, but you can also Google and find ones that are better companies, or you can go to a naturopath or to a wellness clinic like ours, and we sell ones that they've done a lot of quality testing on. It was a while ago I read a Consumer Reports article about probiotics, and they tested lots of different ones, including Culturelle and all these sort of, you know, very commonly well-known over-the-counter, cheaper probiotics, and most of them were dead and had very low amounts of value. Yogurt has probiotics in it, but again, that could be dairy. So you gotta find ways to get it. But there's a ton of wonderful fermented foods today that offer a lot of healthy.
What's a fermented food as an example?
So sauerkraut.
Oh, okay.
Pickles could be fermented. There's kombucha. I don't know if you've seen like that drink that's fermented. Yeah.
Kimchi.
Kimchi. Yes, my husband loves kimchi.
What's that?
Kimchi. It's
Oh, kimchi. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
A Korean.
It is. Yeah, it's Korean, and can be very spicy. So anyway, so fermented foods, probiotics are very, very good.